So here we have House Bill HB4113 in the Illinois General Assembly. This is basically a father's rights bill. I'm not going to talk too much, but I'm going to play clips of Mays Jackson, WVON, and they discuss this, and they let the brother who proposed the bill and the sister who's against it, break that down. But I've said before that, in these dialogues on YouTube and the gender wars and whatnot, there are going to be situations where black men and black women don't agree. And politically, there's going to be policies that they don't separate and go in line with one another. If you see, even when it comes to voting for Trump or voting, even in the Obama-Hillary Clinton election, John McCain rather, there's always that gap and that divide between black men and black women when it comes to politics. But I've said that, if there was a bill, and I used it hypothetically in the past, if there was a bill that would, change child support laws, give equal custody to both parents, do you think that sisters would side with black men on those things? And obviously not. But here you have a situation similar to that. You have a bill that, well, in essence, it's for, we call it a father's rights bill because the overall majority of women win the cases. But women keep bringing up the fact that some men have been winning recently in the last few years. But this bill would actually help any non-custodial parent. So if the woman doesn't get custody and the father does off the bat, this helps her. And the possibility in the future, the bill could possibly do something with child support payments. Because if y'all both got equal custody, then y'all both will be equally dropping those child support checks. But I'm gonna let y'all listen to the debate or the dialogue between these two. I listened to her. I don't understand her reasoning for opposing the bill. If anything, to me, it seems like it's more icing on the cake. It's another push to make sure and, put more emphasis on the problem in the family court system that's going on right now. Specifically, this is the context of this is Illinois. Alpha male wisdom often talks about black men not voting or supporting bills that are in their favor. And here's an example. I think both these two individuals are both Democrats. So whatever, Illinois is a Democrat-run state. Anyways, but yeah, I'm gonna let y'all listen to the duke it out. But again, I don't understand her reasoning for going against the bill. She claims that there was a law passed last year, and we haven't seen the data from that yet to determine whether or not it worked or not. Well, he's going to guarantee that it works by, making these specific word changes to the bills, and basically men should not have to prove themselves when there's a divorce or when there's a breakup. Both parents should have, unless there's some extreme evidence that the father's not a good father or he's abusive or whatever, if that does not exist, he should not have to walk on eggshells and go out of his way to prove that he's not a harm to his own child. And that goes for both parents. But the way the court system is set up, that's not true. But I'm done talking. I'm going to let you listen to them duke it out, come with your own opinion. That's what we do here.
Award sole custody of the children.
No, wait, please.
Your Honor, Miss Gibson is moving to Oregon to start a new job. Weekly visitations with Mr. Gibson are going to be impossible.
No, wait.
So noted, filed with the court clerk.
Hold it, Your Honor. Your Honor, I know I'm late, but someone hit my car. Now, see, look here. This is evidence, new evidence. I have a new plan for joint custody. It's all right here.
Well, Mr. Gibson, you are late, and the hearing has been conducted.
Yeah, but I had an accident.
Your Honor, we're free to go.
No, I'm not done yet.
The court ruled, Mr. Gibson.
But I wasn't here.
The court ruled.
No, Valerie, I bought you a house.
It's too late, Your Honor.
No, it's not too late. It's 20 minutes. It's just 20 minutes. 20 minutes can't be too late. Valerie, please, don't let 20 minutes stand in the way of what I'm trying to do.
Please don't start. Don't talk to him.
No!
Mr. Gibson, would you please approach the bench?
Your Honor, can
Valerie,
we leave now?
No.
Yes.
No.
Mr. Gibson.
Valerie, can we talk?
Mr.
Valerie, can we
Mr. Gibson.
Valerie.
Mr. Gibson, come here for a moment, please. Emotions run high in here. Now, if this weren't a divorce court, the way you just yelled in my courtroom.
I'm sorry.
Of course you are. You have children, Mr. Gibson. Keep them in front of you.
I just wanted to tell my wife I got her a house for the children.
When?
Well, I have it all right here. That's my plan. I found a house for Valerie and for the boys, and they don't have to move. This is what I wanted to say. Boys need their fathers. The streets of this world are lonely for boys without their fathers. If I've made mistakes, and I have grown, and I have recognized those mistakes.
What kind of a house?
It's not a big house, and it's not in great shape, but I can fix it. I can make it work. And there's a space for, well, if she'll have me back, there's a place for me too. But I'm not asking for that right now. I'm just asking that she not take the boys and move halfway across the world.
Well, when they're settled, you can arrange visitations with your children. Oregon is not the other side of the world.
It is to me. I want my family. I want my boys. I had an accident. This guy hit me on the FDR. He cut me off. You know, I wanted to be here.
You know, if this was my marriage and it was this important to me, I would have been here on time. Everyone was here on time except you. Next case.
Thank you guys for being here this morning. You guys, now you all down in Springfield still? Okay. And get just real quick, what's going on in Springfield? What should we be looking at? What's the big deals going on? Okay, I'll go there.
Treated equal at the time of entering the court. Right now, we know that there is one parent, the quote custodial parent, always has the upper hand over the other parent, and the non-custodial parent most of the time receives Wednesday and every other weekend. We're trying to make sure that the judicial system is fair and provide equal opportunities for parents to have equal time with their kids.
So that sounds like that's only right. It seems like everybody always wants fathers to be with their kids. Who would oppose something like that?
Well, we have the attorneys opposing it, the Chicago Bar, the Illinois Bar, and I don't understand how the attorneys could ever oppose anything when they're supposed to be looking out for their client. So I don't know how an attorney could ever say that they're looking out for the best interest of a child when they have a fiduciary responsibility to do what's in the best interest of their client.
But isn't this something called joint custody, where the parents basically have equal access to the children, and it's divided every week?
There is joint custody, but under joint custody, you have you still have an unbalanced fairness, because under joint custody, custodial parent still has more say. It's like if you look at a system of votes, you have the custodial parent will have 2 votes, and the non-custodial parent would have 1 vote in decision making. So it's the system of parenting laws is really messed up, and it's hurting families in Illinois.
And so, Representative Ford, thank you. So you are the sponsor of the bill, House Bill 4113. We also have on the line State Representative Dr. Letisa Wallace on the line. And Dr. Wallace, why are you opposing this?
So that's a very simple way of saying it. I'm simply asking, under the current law, which was rewritten in 2016, there is nothing that prevents for equal time to be granted anyway. Many of the cases that we're hearing about were decided prior to that 2016 rewrite. There is a very specific section in that law that says that both parents are presumed fit, and that the court shall not shouldn't place any restrictions on parenting time unless there's evidence as to why they should do that. It's very clear in statute already. So I'm not understanding why we would need an additional law when this new statute is now in effect, and it clearly states that there can be that both parents are deemed equally fit unless there's a preponderance of the evidence otherwise.
Okay, so this is Mace and Charles.
In other words, when both parents go before the court has to assume that both are fit enough to raise that child, and then the court can still continue to make the decision, whether it's a 60-40, 50-50, 80-20. There's nothing preventing equal time right now.
She's absolutely right, Mays and Charles. But what we know is that who could trust the courts to do the right thing? Definitely not
Not black people.
There we go. So we cannot trust the courts to do the right thing, and they're not doing the right thing. What they're giving, mostly men, you see men getting Wednesday and every other weekend.
Yes.
She's absolutely right.
And do we have evidence about what those rulings look like now that this new law is in effect? It didn't become effective until 2017. We're just a year out. Most of what we're talking about is evidence based on past cases, which was predicated on previous law. So I think we need time for the current legislation to work its way out and see what those cases look like.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so first of all, let me just jump in here just a hot second. Yeah, first of all, I think we're sitting here acting like the courts are not skewed towards the mothers when you go there. Which
is why we rewrote the law in 2016 because of that bias.
And
we were fully aware of that.
And have we seen any outcomes? Have there been any studies that talk about those outcomes?
Well, there has been real life experiences where people go into court and they're still being forced to spend their life savings, mortgage their homes, go bankrupt, and at the end of the day, the judges and the attorneys make a decision that's in the best interest of them because they can't get any more money from their clients. So they say, all right, let's settle this. Let's give this parent Wednesday and every other weekend.
So,
which is why one of the first bills I ever passed was a bill to create dollars for non-custodial parents to get parenting time. There's a pot of money that is currently accumulating and being set aside within the Department of Health Care and Family Services to address that issue. I passed that bill in 2015 to help with legal fees.
If we have a bill or we have laws on the books that is not explicitly stating that we want fairness, we need to change that law.
That's Representative Shawn, what is it about the bill you're sponsoring that would ensure, what provision of it would ensure that a judge would give equal access to the children?
Exactly. So we cannot guarantee because we cannot trust the judicial system, but we know that if the law points the judge to believe that it's okay for the judge to grant equal time, because right now it's not clear that they should start out looking at both parents as fit parents and could have equal time. Right now, it's one parent goes into court and the other parent that has to
pay all the money,
that's looking for equal time, has to prove that he or she is fit to be. You can't. That's not fair.
No.
That's true.
Paragraph B of the Illinois Marriage Dissolution Act, Section 602.7, paragraph B clearly states it is presumed both parents are fit.
She's right about
and
that.
The court shall not place any restrictions on parenting time. It clearly states that, and that is under the new law that was rewritten and passed.
Paula, hold on, both of y'all. Pause. So let me ask both of you all. State Representative Wallace, what is in the language that Representative LaShawn Ford is proposing that you're opposed to? Why are you so? It doesn't seem as though there's anything in all this. Let me just be clear. What I saw, it says it recognizes parents' equal time is presumptive.
That's right.
It also says it deletes the fact
already in law.
So what's wrong with reinforcing it? We know we can't have enough laws that protect keeping families together. I guess my question is, what about what Representative Ford is proposing makes you want to oppose it? What specific?
In almost every other setting, almost every other proposal of any type of mandatory minimum, we are asked, please don't do that. Please don't vote for a mandatory minimum, because then you have raised the bar in terms of evidence to suggest that that mandatory minimum should not be enacted. We're basically setting a particular bar that is going to require one parent or the other to say why that person is unfit why they shouldn't have time, which does not alleviate the contentious nature around this issue that already exists and was very evident in the hearing 2 days ago.
Let me stop you right now. Let me stop you both right there.
Why are we allowing more contention to brew when the statute clearly says both parents are deemed fit?
Boy, okay, so you know what? When we talk about what the law says and what actually happens, I think that's a little. We got questions. We just got through talking about. Hold on, look. But we'll talk about is the court system is always biased against the black male. Period. So whether you're the divorce judge, whether you're the criminal judge, your premise is that the black man is the bad dude, right? All you hear about is black man bad, black man ain't, black women save the world, whatever. I think that it is odd to find. I want her to tell me why she is opposed to what is being spelled out in this bill. Can I get tired? He printed me out this Martin Sandoval stuff. Ask him, can he print me out the bill for the father's rights? It's House Bill 4113. No, I don't know if it's House Bill 4113. Right? So, yeah, I just think that the law is whether you got the money or you don't got the money. And when the mom comes in and says he ain't nothing or he did whatever, it's just like when the police come to your house if you have a domestic. The woman could have hit you. But if the police come, the man is mandated to go to jail. Right? There is an implicit bias against black men in the court system, no matter how it goes. And I find it difficult to understand why there's any. All it seems that LaShawn is asking for is that the father and the mother be looked at equally when they go to court, right? When you go to court, you know the kids are going with the mom no matter what. It has to be something egregious, right? It ain't even a debate. Not when they're young. And so if the courts, if the system has been set up to destroy black families, why they gonna put fathers in the homes? Come on, y'all. Come on. And as a person who, you don't even want me to get started about this. And then the custodian. Take a moment, share the broadcast. Understand what House Bill 4113 is. State Representative Ford, tell us exactly what this bill does.
For parents. And Mays, let me just give you a perfect example, and this will spell it out perfectly. In Illinois, and I don't mean to say anything negative about the first family, but if President Obama and Michelle Obama were to divorce, automatically, Michelle would probably be the parent that will be given custody of the child.
Not probably.
Right, exactly.
That's not automatically.
And what would happen, President Obama would have to go to court to prove that he should get equal time with his daughters.
Yes.
That's not right.
It's not.
And that's the problem with the law today. He should not have to go to court to prove.
Not
we should yes,
let him finish.
We should be able to go in as parents and say, this is my child. I deserve to have equal time with my child, unless there's a reason why I shouldn't. But he would have to prove that he's fit.
Okay, let me stop you right there. Representative Dr. Leticia Wallace, you oppose this. Why?
I'm going to address what was just stated. The latter half of what Representative Ford just said is what is already in statute. Your arguments here today are saying that the law is not being equally applied, the current law that's already in statute, and therefore we need more laws. I don't think we need more laws. We need maybe to elect better judges who will make better decisions. So you can't argue that you support this law and then say, well, the judges don't equally apply the law anyway. So why would they do it with this particular legislation?
Representative Wallace, how do you get better, Representative Wallace, how do you get better judges then? How do you make sure that the current law is enforced? No, but I mean, isn't there some way legislatively to force better judges or judges to make better and fairer decisions? Isn't that what this bill is about?
So what we've missed from the discussion is no one seems to have heard me state what is already written and was written in 2016 that is no different, really, than what LaShawn just proposed or Representative Ford just stated in the latter half of his statement. All parents are presumed fit, and that the court shall not place restrictions on parenting time. That is what the law already says. But your arguments here today are that the law is unequally applied, so let's make more laws. That does not make sense.
No, it's... wait, stop right now. So look, Charles, do you have something you wanted to ask or say?
No, I just don't. If the judges, as Representative Ford alleges, are not doing the job under the current law, then maybe the law needs to be stronger to force those judges to make the fair decisions. Because if the current law isn't working, then we got to do something.
Right.
The current law just went into effect in 2017. And
hold on, Representative Ford, let her talk.
Let me finish. When we were before, when the hearing was occurring just 2 days ago, I am unsure as to how many of those parents, mostly fathers, were there who had decisions that were made prior to 2017. And so we need to parse that out. I think that is a very specific point because the legislation as of 2017 clearly states that the court shall not place restrictions on parenting time and that both parents are presumed fit.
So,
it clearly states that.
So let me stop right now. So for all of those, let me back up. I do not believe that the law is being practically applied as a person that is experiencing this. Now, mine occurred before 2017, so I want to know what happens to the people who had their divorce decrees or all of their laws set before 2017. Do I get to go back and get my kid? Do I get to go back and get...
They have every right to petition the court for additional parenting time. And I created legislation to help individuals who don't have resources to gain money to be able to go back and petition parenting time. Nothing prevents that.
All right, so let's go to the phone lines. You're listening to the Talk Chicago. We have State Representative LaShawn Ford suggests he is sponsoring House Bill 4113. It would provide equal parenting time. State Representative Letisa Wallace opposes the legislation because she says it's already on the books. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to Nolan. Oh, that's Ron. Ron, you're in the Talk Chicago. Hello, Ron? All right, let's go to Nolan. Nolan, you're on the Talk Chicago.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, first of all, I really appreciate having this conversation. So on so many levels, our families are so precious, and to assume that a man has the same opportunity that a mother has, that a father has, and a mother has, that is absolutely false. Automatically going into court, fathers have to just show up. Fathers, when I was going through court and watching other men, not just myself, go through the process, mothers automatically had custody.
Yes.
The fathers had to beg for custody, plead for custody, prove why they didn't have joint custody. There was no reason that a father couldn't. It was just no reason. It was just automatic. So just the mother showing up was enough.
That's the case, though. The mother just has to show up, and the presumption. First of all, let's be clear. Hold on. Let's be clear. In the courts, the black man, right, is already got a bias against him. Whether it's with a black woman, white, anybody else, the black man is already on the bottom. But Everett Myrick had a real good question. Both of you all, if the time is split equally, does that mean that the child support payments get split equally? Does the child support decrease? Let's talk about that when we come back. It's the talk show. State Representative Shawn Ford are on the line talking about House Bill 4113. We got a bank full of calls, but before we get to them, the question Everett Myrick asked from Facebook was, if you can get equal time, will the child support payments be decreased? Okay, stop. You know you paying the parent to be the parent, though, because the money don't necessarily... Come on now.
The other parent, and now this parent has equal time. That parent that's rewarded the equal time would need that money to take care of that child.
So do you have to go back and petition to get it? Or does that all happen automatically when you get the time split? Resplit
automatically under the current law.
Oh, and so what's the process?
Because those are two separate portions of the statute, and I am all for that. Actually, the newest resolution, the newest law says both parents' incomes must be taken into account when determining child support now. And if moving forward there is equal split of time, then, of course, both parents need to have access to their own resources to be able to provide for that child.
Wait, I just got one last question, and I promise I'm going back. You said that you can go back and get the child support reassessed based on both parents' income now?
Yes.
Now?
That's current law. That's
you know what? Let's take some breaking news, fellas. We can go back and appeal. Let's go to the phone lines. Frank, you're on the Talk Chicago, 1690. You got State Representative Letisa Wallace and State Representative LaShawn Ford.
Good morning to you all. Beautiful subject. I love it. I love the bill. I hope it passes. It finally brings the marriage structure into the 21st century. I think it goes a long way to protect men who have been used just to get on welfare and to collect child support. And my sister, I'm sorry, but you have lost my vote. You are presenting a false and weak case. Thank you, Brother Mays.
All right, thank you. Let's go to Mike.
Well,
on the top.
I'm not running again, but I appreciate your opinion.
Okay, hold on. Representative Wallace, you said what now?
Don't say that.
Yeah.
Well, he said I lost his vote, and I'm just simply stating that what's already in the 2016 statute, it is not a false and weak case. What I'm hearing from a lot of feedback over House Bill 4113 is what's known as confirmation bias. People have experienced something, therefore they believe that is what it's always going to be, and everyone seems to have lost that. I've clearly pointed to new statutes, clearly pointed what is already written. It is not a false argument or my opinion. This is what is written and what is lost.
What do you have to lose by supporting this bill?
Ooh.
I have never said I would absolutely not support your bill.
No.
You and I have had multiple conversations about this particular legislation.
Not only
I have
personally.
simply stated as I stated today. Okay, I've simply stated as I've stated today. If our argument, which has been the ongoing discussion here, is that the laws are already unequally applied and that black fathers, because we're speaking in a heteronormative sense, if black fathers are not getting the right and fair shake in court, which I've seen myself, then I just simply don't believe that more laws is going to make a judge actually do what we want them to do. I think what we need is judicial review. We need to find out who are the judges that are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And when election time comes up, we don't vote to retain them. There are other methods, because even with your particular bill, some judge still can have that same gender bias. And any woman could still come into court based on the arguments that we've heard in hearings and say, he shouldn't do this, and that judge could still rule for less than 50-50. We need to address who's making the ruling, and I don't think this bill does that. So could I vote for it? I probably could vote for it. I just have had to make the argument that it does not get to the root cause of why we see the family situations that we see right now.
No bill does that, and that's why we continue to work hard to try to make the laws better. But we must chip away. So and it's unfortunate, but you're right to a degree. But to stand in the way of equal justice in law is not fair. It must be explicitly.
Please don't mischaracterize it in that way. I am not sitting in the way of equal justice. That is not ever what I have ever done. My life's work has been about justice, equity, and equality. So please don't insult me in that way.
So speaking of, hold on. But speaking of justice,
I haven't heard anything.
I want to see my sons.
Mr. Gibson.
Miss Miller, how are the boys?
Mr. Gibson, I think you should leave before we call the police. Mr. Gibson, don't make me call the police.
So, they're fine?
Yes, your boys are fine.
And all this is just a mistake?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Danny! Stevie!
Call the police.
Daniel Gibson! Stevie Gibson! Can you hear me? Stevie! Can you hear me?
Call the mother.
Gibson boys! Where are you?
Danny, come back here. Daddy.
Stevie! Danny!
Daddy!
Stevie! Get off me! Get off! Danny! Stevie! Where are you? Come down!